and we're good to go.
Okay, thanks everybody for being here. I want to call the Health and Human Development Committee meeting to order for November the 21st, and it's 9:04 a.m. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Alderman Vaughn. Alderman Vollmer.
Present. Did you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Present.
Alderwoman Sanye. Chair Boyd.
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Sanye. We have 3 present.
Thank you so much. We'll skip approval of minutes because we do not have a quorum. And so today we'll have discussions. And so we'll have forestry. We have Alan with forestry and Greg Hayes here as our guest this morning. And so they can, we'll allow them to speak. And I think I did send some information on what we were looking for. And then I hope that kind of helped you all kind of get things prepared in what was going on.
Chair Boyd, yes, it did. And I just want to note that Joaquina Callion, our Commissioner of Recreation, I believe was just gained access into this same meeting.
Okay, all
Joaquina,
right.
you there? Sorry.
Because I was looking for Christian Bishop or Chelsea Murdy.
Those are the LAs.
Oh, yeah, it says LA. Yeah, I don't see her, Greg.
What's her name?
Joaquina Callion, Commissioner. She's probably 20 feet away from me in her office. She said that they just let me in, and I said, please announce yourself. So Joaquina, you there by chance?
I don't think she's in.
I will find out very quickly.
Okay.
Her name is Joaquina what?
Callion, C-A.
She's in the guest.
Okay, she's calling me now. I'm sorry for this. She's calling me now. Bear with me 1 minute.
No, you fine. She's in the guest aura.
I see her. I promoted her over.
Yeah, we moved her over, Greg.
Okay, I'm a.
She's accepting now.
Okay, yeah, she was in as a guest, and perhaps Trenton Harris, I see you. How are you, Trenton? She's trying to get in as a panelist.
Yeah, I'm promoting her over now. She has to accept.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I see a Jerome Harris, but I don't see a Trenton Harris.
There's a Trenton Harris. No, that's Trenton Harris is the ST.
Now.
There's
Okay.
Joaquina.
All righty. Okay. All right. So we have discussion with recreation first. So do you want to go first?
I
You
sure
ready?
can.
Okay.
I'm ready. So I'm going to share my screen first with everyone. Can you see my screen? Okay. So first of all, thank you. Good morning to everyone. I am Joaquina Callion. I am the Recreation Commissioner, and I've been with the city now for 3 years. I have only been the commissioner for 11 months now, but prior to that, I was the program manager too. And I have enjoyed starting some programs and working with our team. We have created some new outsets on our football program. We are looking to rebrand our actual department from just recreation to when we're talking about participating and seeing our names out in the community, it will be, we're looking to do city recreation legends. So we're creating legends with our youth and with our programs within the community. So to start off with a few Our first slide is the overview of our recreation division. We have 7 recreation centers that I manage. They are Twortham Park, Buda, Cherokee, Gamble, Marquette, Tandy, and Woes. And the way our centers are set up, we have 4 on the north side and 3 on the 4 on the south side and 3 on the north side. So as well as we have 7 pools that we manage, and there is 4 indoor pools as well as 3 outdoor pools. Right now, we are in the process of serving 8,929 youth in the community, and we're served 4,014 adults in the community. But last year, we served a total of 25,550 youth and adults within the year. But our attendance is where we're proud of, because, you know, you can sign up once and never come back. But if it's something that you like, you enjoy, you continue to come back. And our yearly attendance last year was 58,776 attendees. The programs that we offer youth, teen, and adult programs, but we don't just offer sports. We also do arts and life skills. Our recreation centers are considered a safe space. It is a place where anyone is more than welcome to come in and feel safe and understand that their kids will be safe as well. Here are some of the youth programs that we provide. We have golf classes, we have lacrosse, we have girls and boys wrestling, we have girls and boys basketball, we offer boxing, flag football. We have a flag football league that our football team plays in, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about that later. We have martial arts, we do tumbling, we have circus classes, we have karate, cheer. So we provide a variety of things, as you can see on the scale, just for our youth. But the biggest things that we're proud of is our youth golf program, because it allows our kids not only be able to learn how to play golf, but it also gives them the opportunity to become a caddy later on in life and when they reach into their teenagers, which then allows them to partner with our golf clubs around the St. Louis area, where those students that achieve in that task of learning to be a caddy, they can then receive funding for schooling, for college, so that it allows them to be able to pay for their college tuition. And so that's one of the things that we're excited about YouGolf. With our football league, we're excited about partnering with AYF, which is American Youth Football Association. And we're excited about that because it allows our kids to be able to travel. The league that we were in prior, it wasn't a traveling league, so they just played locally. But with our new football program and with the partnership of AYF through our RFP, we have been able to allow our teams to not only play on the local level, they play on the state level, they play on the regional level, and they play on the national level. The national level allows the kids to actually go to Florida and play in a football game, multiple games. But while they're there, they also get to visit the beach, which some of our kids never get the opportunity to see. They get the opportunity to either go to Disney World or the University Studio, which is another perk for our kids. But the most important part that I like about AYF is their athletic as well as their academics. They allow the kids to be able to have an academic banquet to show off their grades, to show how they're improving in school. It's not even that, oh, I have to have all A's and B's to get here. No, if I started off as a C student, but I come in and I work with our tutors that they provide, you work with within your class, then your grades improve, you get noticed for that. It's not just everybody that makes A's. It shows that you're improving. So I like that. That is something that we loved about the program, because it's not just about playing football. It's also about your academics. We partner with Circus Harmony, which is a part of the City Museum. So everybody's not into sports, but we like doing other things. So circus is a great way to still be physical, but at the same time, enjoy and learn things. And being a part of Circus Harmony, the kids not only learn to do circus tricks, but they also get to go down to the City Museum and learn how to do circus tricks, games, and other acrobatic things that they do. And so they love that. And then it also gives them the opportunity to become, if it's something that they're interested in, they then can go to school to become a full-time circus, a participant. And I am so sorry, but I am going to try and turn my light back on so that I can see my screen. Sorry about that. So with Circus Harmony, we also work with tumbling because we have a lot of kids that they like to tumble. They like running around, turning flips. They've seen the Olympics, so they want to be gymnasts. So this is another form that we utilize with Circus Harmony, because you also do a lot of acrobats in circus. So it's another way of allowing the kids to learn how to tumble. We also partnered with Hidden Valley to allow our kids to go skiing. That is something that a lot of our kids in our community don't get the opportunity to do. But by partnering with them, they allow us to be able to take the kids skiing. And they provide the skis, the gear for them to put on so that they can go and have an experience of skiing. And here is some of our pictures of our cheerleaders, our young men doing double dutch. It's not just for the girls, the men love it too. And it's one of our football teams, they actually won their trophy. So when you go to nationals, you get to go on different levels. It starts at the age of 6 and we go up to 14 with football. But all of our youth programs, we start at the age of 6 and we go through 18. And during those programs, you can pick a variety of things that are not just about sports. You can do video, you can do photography, you can learn to do chess. We have arts and crafts, we have ceramics, there is robotics. Those all the different things that we provide, as well as summer camp for our centers. Some of the youth life skills, this is where we're talking about where you get to do fashion. You're doing videography. You can do graphic designs. We're doing digital marketing with we partner with 50 by 30, and they're teaching our kids how to do some of those graphic designs. We have our referee and official training, which is another program that I'll go into a little bit more in a few moments. We have our after-school tutoring, where our staff is doing some of the tutoring because we have teachers that are working part-time for us and helping our students with their reading, writing, and their mathematics. We have our DJ class, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But the biggest thing is I think the kids love cooking because there is simple things that they can learn how to do. So if mom's working late, they'll know how to use the microwave. They'll learn how to use the air fryer. They'll learn how to do things safe, like make a salad, something that's healthy, but at the same time, it's something that they could do without a whole lot of supervision. We have dance classes. We have skating. We started Girl Scouts this year again, doing our summer camp program, and we had a lot of girls interested in that. So we're excited about bringing that program back. And Double Dutch, we do a big Double Dutch event every year. So the kids are practicing off and on so that next month when they compete for the Double Dutch contest with BJC, we'll probably have some champions there. And then we have robotics. And robotics, we introduced that during summer camp. The kids learn how to take Legos and make them into robots. And then they actually had the opportunity to go and compete at the American Center for National Robotics last summer. So DJ classes. So we have the opportunity to work with DJ Cut, who is known for his DJ skills. And he's been able to allow us to teach our youth how to DJ as well as how to earn a living. So it's a part of our entrepreneurship where not only do they learn a skill and they have fun doing it, but they then can also venture out and be able to make a financial contribution to themselves, whether it's getting ready to go to school, saving money for school, or if it's saving for their family, or if it's a career that they choose to do. So we're excited about that, as well as our referees and official training. We partner with a group called Big Games Official. This is special because we were able to partner with them because of the ARPA funds that we received. And it allows us to train our own staff to become officials so that we can have them officiate our own games and we won't have to keep going out and finding people to come in to officiate our games. But at the same time, they're starting a new program where they're allowing the youth to learn how to officiate games as well, so that they start young, they get better at it. So by the time they get to the high school level or they're getting ready to go into college level, they've gained enough knowledge that they'll be able to apply for jobs to become an official. And the other thing that we really like about this, once they get there, they've gone through the training and they've learned how to become a certified official. They then, again, another entrepreneurship training is where they then get to become officials and they can officiate on the youth level at other organizations, middle schools, high schools. And they can also do other rec programs where they can go and earn a salary or earn fees to be able to take care of themselves using a skill that they've learned through here at Recreation. And this is from some of our programs that our kids learning to do the skiing and then robotics. There's Circus Harmony, and this is our new referee school for our youth. And it's 6 to 12 weeks training. And then we also have our tea party where our girls are learning to be a part of our tea program. So for adults, we're just not here for the youth. We are here for our adults too. We're a family-friendly facility, and we offer a variety of activities. We want to be there for the entire community because we are not just recreation centers, we are community centers. And we offer adult volleyball, we offer ceramics, we offer table tennis, we have a 50 and over basketball league. We do learn to swim for the adults as well as the youth. We have open swim, we have yoga classes, Zumba classes, our self-defense class, indoor tennis, slide dancing, water aerobics. We have a group of ladies that love to come and play bridge. And again, we also allow them to be able to participate in the referee and official training. So those are some of the activities that we offer. I think it's a great way that we combine our centers because a lot of times our Zumba class is going on at the same time as our basketball. So if the kids are playing basketball, mom can be doing Zumba or dad could be doing Zumba while they're allowing their child to play. So it's a family event. We come together, we leave together, but we're exercising and keeping our health up. So with our recreation division, TO, which is our staffing, we have a total of full-time staff of 31. Right now, I do have a vacancy of 41. It is 20 recreation assistants, 6 rec leaders, 2 full-time lifeguards, and then we're minus a payroll specialist and a program manager 1 and a program manager 2. But we are in the process of hiring. We have these jobs are out on our website, and we're hoping to get some great candidates for these positions. We do tend to hire more people during the summer months because we of summer camp. So we do have seasonal workers as well. The overview of our budget. Our budget is for programming is $740,000 from our general revenue and $308,000 from our CDA funding. And with ARPA funding coming in at 1.7 million, which give us a total of the 2,762,100 to operate our programs. These funds have been able to allow us to do a lot of programming that we feel is important. It allowed us to be able to put out an RFP. So we have people that come in with certifications to teach our kids how to play lacrosse, how to teach them the proper way of doing football or doing our soccer. Those things we've been able to provide those services with the RFP because of the funding that we've received. With the CDA funding, it allows us to be able to have our boxing teams certified. So all our boxing kids that come in, they have what they call a book, which allows them to be able to participate in boxing events for as the civil boxing, the gold boxing, silver belts and things like that. And it allows them to be able to travel too. And they are another group that is able to travel and have a different experience outside of just St. Louis area. With the CDA funds, it also allows us to pay for our lifeguards to be certified. It helps us keep up the certification of our current lifeguards, but it also allows us to be able to help certify more lifeguards. And that is something that we need. So we're grateful that they're able to provide those fundings. And then it also helps with summer camp. And it allows us to be able to staff more people during the summer, as well as it also helps pay for our football league. Those fees that come out of there help support those kids. And just to give you some idea of how many kids that we have in our football program alone, we have 350 kids that participate in the football. That's football and cheer. And then with our boxing, we have over 150 kids that participate in our boxing program. And we have over 300 kids that participate in our basketball program. So those are some of the programs that we have a lot of kids that come in and participate in. Our ARPA funds, again, they went to, a lot of our funds go to the boys and girls soccer. We partner with New Dimension, who is doing fabulous work with our teams in boxing. They're teaching them how to, soccer. They're working with the soccer league. They're working with having the kids integrate into, once they're no longer able to play in soccer at the age of 13, they're then turning them around and showing them how to coach and how to be a coach. And it allows them to continue to participate in a sport that they love. We've served over 100 youth doing that in the last 2 years that we've been a part of them. Nothing But Net is our adult basketball league that we've served 150 adults. Not only do they come in and play basketball, but they have to have skill trainings. So with those skills, they're learning how to interview for jobs. They're learning how to write their resumes. They're learning how to conduct themselves in and out of the center. And they're also learning how to do some entrepreneurships. They teach them things like that, but they also come in and teach them about trauma. So our basketball youth officiation comes out of that. Again, that's where we are working with Big Games Official, who helps us to be able to fund our referees and also provide our refs for our games. We had a total of 150 games last year in basketball alone, and they were able to provide referees for each one of those games. And it's not just one ref, it's 2, sometimes 3, depending on the age. And at the same time, we've trained 65 new referees that will be able to come in and help us and help others. Our other program is Teams of Tomorrow. They are a group that come in and have been mentoring in our Gamble area, where we've had a lot of gunfire, gang-related activities. So they've been in mentoring those kids, working with them. They do coping groups. They do one-on-one mentoring. They also provide group setting where if you have grief counseling, they provide that. And that was a blessing for us to be able to utilize that because it's not just for our youth, it's also for the staff. They take the opportunity to work with staff when we're in that situation and we're worried about the kids' safety when we're hearing gunfire outside our centers. This is how we're able to cope. Brown Entrepreneur, they were a group that came in and taught a group of 50 youth on how to start their small business. So they started doing things like learning how to make bracelets, how to sell bracelets, how to market T-shirts, things like that, that they were interested in doing. And that was a great program. And then we have our Charms, which is the STEM and girls mentorship. They came in and taught the girls how to do etiquette classes, but they also focused on STEM, learning how to utilize some of the science behind what you do and how you do it, learning the mathematics about how to do your money, things like that. So that was a great program that we had as well. So how are we marketing ourselves? That is something that we're still learning and trying to figure out how we can get our name and get all the great things that we do in the center out into the community. So we started by trying to create a website for each one of our recreation centers. We also have Facebook, which was great to have when we had coming out of COVID and we weren't allowing people into the gyms per se. The kids could come in and wear their masks and participate, but we wasn't allowing spectators to come and watch the games. So we were able to create Facebook pages so that we could live stream the games so that family members could sit in their cars and watch their child play. So we were, that was one of the things that we found that was helpful with Facebook. We do weekly PIO calls where we try and let everybody know what we're doing in the community. We provide flyers, things so that they go into the community sites. And then we also attend community events. If we hear about an event that's coming up, we try to participate in it so that our name is out there. I know we're needing to work on how we get our information out there a little bit more. We are working to hire a PIO2 that we'll be sharing with the streets department. We're trying to figure out how we can expand our social media presence, and we're looking for support in reaching the engine optimization. Some of our programs highlights is like the biggest one we were talking about, the Youth Football League and the opportunity to travel. And just this past year, we had 2 teams to make it all the way to Florida, but not only did they make it there, they placed. So the first year we had our team, they placed second place in the national level in AYF. And then last year they placed 4th. But we're excited because each year we try, and just so far this year we have 2 teams that looks like they will be making it back to nationals. We have one that's competing this weekend on the regional level, and they will be in Detroit, Michigan competing. And next week, if they win, they will go the first week of December, and they will be in Florida for the national championships games. Workforce development is where we see Big Games Official because they really help with that. We have showing the kids and our young youth how to make a financial gain and how to make a career out of something that you love doing. And it's the same way with our DJ classes, as well as our urban golf class, as well as our Circus Harmony, and also our New Dimension programs. When we're looking to bring on programs, I look to see how can we help how can we utilize them to not only create a safe space for the kids, not only allow them to do something that they enjoy, but how can they expand that on to their careers going into college, going into adult life. So that is my presentation. Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you, Joaquina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wakita. That's a lot of information. And I think the challenge for our committee is, and I've always said this even before you came, you all are the best kept secret. Nobody knows what you do. And so I think that's our challenge and how we're trying to make sure that as a city, people are able to utilize the recreation centers. And so on that note, I wanted to ask our committee members, do they have any questions for recreations? I'm going to say Alderman Hayes, Alderman Balmer.
You're going to demote him to make him an alderman, huh?
I know.
No, my first question is, Greg, when did these places start opening 24 hours a day? Because with everything you just described, I can't see these places being closed ever. You have a lot going on, and it's very, very much a well-kept secret. You should find a way to exploit that.
Okay. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that presentation. I agree that it's going to be great when you all have the public information officer to help promote all of the things that are going on. I noticed a lot of different programs that you're working with other nonprofits to do the work, and I just wanted to hear, your thoughts on kind of the partnerships that have been most successful, maybe if any haven't worked out, what happened, and why. Just very briefly, if you can.
So, as you know, a lot of our programs are absolutely, all our programs are free. We do not charge for our kids to be able to participate, as well as our parents. We have had some programs where we changed and we went a different route because of fundings. The way things happen. We've tried working with one group, and our goal is to have our kids be able to participate in the centers as well as in our parks next to the centers. It's very difficult for our parents to be able to have to travel, and we don't have the means for them to be able to travel to a private setting. So I know we've lost one or two people because when they came on board, they were okay with coming into the rec centers, but then once they got into the rec centers, they felt that they needed to be in their own environment. Oh, it's easier if we do that, if we had it here, but then it became a transportation. How can we get the kids there? How can we not? So I know we lost one group that way. But for the most part, we haven't had groups that leave. We had people that come in and we partner with. They've been with us for years. Some of these groups have been here before me. I think DJ Cut started the year before I got here, as well as New Dimension was already here. So there are just a few that was here before I got here.
Oh, I wanted to jump in. Alderwoman, thanks for that question. I'll jump in. Alderman Vollmer, as soon as you were asking your question or making your comment, I got punted momentarily. So I jumped back in. But yeah, I just wanted to follow up a little bit, Alderwoman Schweitzer, on Joaquina's comments. Once in a while, we'll have a private provider has some difficulty or challenge with some of the city processes and getting, their paperwork in order, insurance. ARPA was all new to us. So for the most part, the ones that are getting our ARPA dollars did a great job. But, we just try to work them through the process on that paperwork, which can be challenging, but we get to the finish line. So we have had some unprecedented programming the last 3 to 5 years, which is fantastic in my opinion. Not to leave anybody out, New Dimension, New Dimension Soccer, the basketball progress, our football league being so formalized, so to speak, instead of just volunteer basis. And couple other comments. I went to Wakena Recreation's football banquet for the youth in 2022. I missed it in 23. That was one of the most inspirational, well, quite frankly, a party for the kids, young men dressed in suits, young ladies, the cheerleaders dressed in dresses, getting all their awards at the City Hall Rotunda steps. It was something to see, and I highly encourage any of you to make it. Wakena can get you any dates. And then just going to 12th and Park, another example, that Charmed program, seeing the young ladies with etiquette, learning etiquette, learning how to set a table, just things some folks take for granted, and seeing their parents, they're very proud of them. So a lot of these programs are very inspirational.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I'd love to know a time that, maybe I could stop by, or even the committee, to see what's going on and see how some of the programs. So I'll connect with you offline about that. Yeah, I appreciate the time for questions. I'm sure I will have more, but I'll send you them in an email, and then we can maybe get together sometime soon. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you. And I look forward to talking with you more.
Okay, and thank you to Wakena. But again, I just want to reemphasize, one, we did this with parks before. Our committee toured parks on both sides of the city so people could do a comparison. And it was an eye-opener for that committee, because it wasn't what people expected in some parks, and something they expected more in other parks. So people were like, this is very eye-opening. So I think Alderwoman Schweitzer, that's what she's trying to say. We can't fight for you all, or we can't even promote you if we don't know what you're doing. And so that might be something we could look at in the near future, to do a tour of different sites all over the city, so we can kind of see what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Uh-huh.
I do have someone on attendee. If you're taking public comment, I believe he works with the center. DJ Cut, he has his hand up.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was just getting ready to ask, was it any speakers? Mr. Cut, are you on? I hear a pop, but I don't see him. Okay, here he is.
Oh, I'm here. I've been here.
Oh, okay. All right. Do I need to swear him in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Cut, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. You may continue.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to start off saying, I'm honored to be a part of this meeting right here, because it means a lot to the city. I am born and raised in St. Louis, right in the Peabody Project, so right across that bridge from City Hall. It's funny just listening to, Wakena mention the different rec centers, because I even used to DJ a couple of parties back at 12th and Park in 1986. I know I'm 56 now, so I'm very proud of my age. But again, being a staple of St. Louis, I've been a tour DJ for Cedric the Entertainer, for Nelly. I've been doing radio for over 3 decades. I even worked in New York for 10 years. And I've worked with, so my company is Xavier Entertainment, but I call it DJ Cut University, which we do over at Tandy. So we was originally supposed to start it in 2020, but COVID shut everything down. So we was able to get it going in 2021, one session, and then we brought it back in 2023 for 2 sessions. And then I just wrapped up a class this past fall, just 2 weeks ago. And I've dealt with over 40 kids so far. And far as the landscape of radio, I've influenced and helped so many people, mentored them, bringing them up over the years. So this has been my life. I've made a lot of money. I've toured a lot of places, and I definitely want to give that back to the children. I'm even partnering with different organizations in the city, like Coach Miller over at Live for Life. You know, he has the gym over there on 14th and Cass. So I partnered with him. Rest in peace to DT. I'm pretty sure you might not know him, but he had Boys to Mentor. So we was about to get some things going, but unfortunately he passed away. So we'll be looking to do some other things with him as well. But I also had the kids DJ a Halloween party over at Tandy, to where all of the kids had a chance to show their skills. Had them on Fox 2 with Tim Mizell, you know, with their parents in the background, but I made them be able to stand behind those lights, because it's totally different when you're in front of all those people, but had them DJ on Fox 2 with Tim Mizell. I also had a story done on them with Melanie Johnson from Channel 4, because I have a lot of media connections. Again, I've been in the business for over 3 decades. So from St. Louis to New York to all across the country. And I'm able to bring people in to speak to the children, local artists from Chingy to Jaquan to you name it. It's just a phone call away. Hey, can you come speak to the kids? Nobody really tells me no. And I'll be honest with, you know, even with my personal life, you know, this is not something that I want to play with. I want to leave a legacy, because July 1st, I was just diagnosed with multiple myeloma. So I'm currently battling cancer. So this is urgent. This is not something that I'm going to play with. I'm going to make sure I leave a legacy for these children and, you know, help my name carry on and develop other DJ cuts, or if they want to get into radio or into TV or to making music, whatever they choose to do. I just want to make sure I give them the best fighting chance, because these are things that I didn't have when I came up. I mean, I just had to figure it out. I went right to Flow Valley in St. Louis because it had 100-watt radio station. So I was like, okay, at least I can learn hands-on here what to do, and the rest is history. So I just want to, you know, commend Joaquina for continuing to give me the opportunity to do the program. And I'm looking to expand as well, because again, you know, have to leave a legacy. I have assistants to help me out as well. Like if I'm not feeling well, you know, I have people to jump in to help as well. But yeah, this program is very important to me, and we want to make sure the kids be able to take it as far as they want to go with my help.
Thank you, DJ Cut.
All right.
Thank you, Cut.
Greg.
Thank you all. Did we have anyone else?
Yes, I'm showing, he didn't give a last name. I just see a Stephen. And then there is a Eric Moore, and we have one more that just chimed in, Tim Timblebell.
Okay. All right, so
And
it's
they're all
3.
starting to come in now. I'm not sure.
So we went from 3, then we went from 2, then we went to 1.
And now they're all starting to, they're raising their hands now, right now as we're speaking.
Okay.
Alderwoman Boyd, timing wise, is it cool if they say something real brief? I just don't want to, I want to be respectful of everyone's time.
Yeah, and I don't want Alan to shrink in that suit. And
Okay.
so I want to make sure that we give Alan his time.
Sure.
So if they could all come on so we can swear them in, if they would be so kind for timing, if they could just do 1.5 minutes each, and then that would kind of help us with
Sure.
time.
Thank you.
So could you all please put your cameras on? I don't see anybody.
They're on here, but I don't see their faces. That's a Stevens. I will need your last name. And then we have Eric Moore and Tim Tatum Bell.
Tatum Bell.
Yeah, Tatum Bell.
So I see Eric Moore, but it's no face. It's still blank.
It's Tim T. Tamble.
T. Tamble. Okay.
Okay.
We both had that wrong.
Thank you.
So, Mr. T. Tamble, could you put your screen on?
I thought it was.
No. And then who's the other one? Or
Stephen, that's just saying Stephen iPad, he was next, and then Eric Moore.
Yes,
Eric.
I'm on here, but my video doesn't work, it looks like.
And we will have to see your face in order for you
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
transfer to my phone.
All right, thank you. Mr. Tatum Tanner.
T. Campbell.
T.
T.
Tanner.
Campbell.
And then Stephen, are you there? Okay. See, do what you started, DJ. You done started something here. Like, what are you doing, man? So, Mr. T. Campbell, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can proceed.
Excuse me, I just wanted to provide a brief background on New Dimensions. We're beginning our 21st year. My co-founder and I, Tom Mickler, started our program with the emphasis of bringing the game of soccer to the children within the under-resourced areas. If everybody's aware, with youth sports today, it's all in West County and is extremely expensive. So we're largely a volunteer organization to provide soccer, excuse me, in these areas. And it's been a wonderful experience partnering with the Parks and Recreations, especially since post-COVID. Prior to COVID, we were in 9 public schools as an after-school program. Post-COVID, that kind of all went by the wayside. So the city parks has been a wonderful partner for us. Excuse me. So we do focus on soccer, and soccer does a couple things. One, it not only promotes physical fitness for the children, but it also improves their motor skill development. And in working with Washington University and developing a program for us, motor skill, the better the motor skill development of a child, it increases their learning capabilities. Learning capabilities, not just only academic, but social emotional learning. And so the game of soccer itself, as it relates to social emotional learning, increases a child's ability to problem solve, teamwork, promotes self-esteem, and respect for each other. As Joaquina mentioned, once the child ages out of the leagues, we are working with them as junior to have them become junior referees and junior coaches for us. So I would just like to say that we're also looking to grow the program. Right now, we're piloting a program at a Catholic church for early childhood development, more or less in a preschool setting. Again, focused on social emotional learning and motor skill development. So maybe we can bring that forward as well. So thank you very much for allowing us to be part of your programming, and we look forward to continue.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mr. T. Campbell, Tim and I went to high school together. I'm a product of youth soccer, so watch out.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
You bet. Thank you.
Mr. Eric Moore, could you raise your right hand, please?
Can you see me? All right.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may proceed.
All right. How's everybody doing this morning? I'll be very brief.
Okay.
My name is Eric Moore, the president of AYF St. Louis Football League. I like to thank everyone for helping us out, bringing this thing together. I had a vision when I was a little younger of running in and helping my grandkids and kids get in something that they can enjoy instead of just being outside in the streets or whatnot. Well, today it's all about being on a video game, right? So for them to get out and work and interact with other kids and other people is a good thing. The values of football set up kids for success and on off the field, right? The game inspires character, leadership, resilience, and teamwork. Key life skills that transfer from huddle to the classroom and beyond, right? So I go to these different fields and talk to the coaches and make sure that they are talking to the kids correctly. So a lot of that cussing or whatnot, we try to let them know that, hey, you don't have to do that to actually communicate with the kids or whatnot, and then help them get to the next level, right? Football can instill values such as sportsmanship, respect, and integrity. It teaches kids how to handle success and failure with grace and dignity, right? Football involves strategy and decision making, helping kids develop problem solving skills as they assess situations on the field and make quick, informed decisions, right? So if you're being taught correctly, we make sure that the coaches are teaching them the fundamentals of football, which brings the fundamentals of sportsmanship, helping the kid get up off the ground. If someone needs help moving forward in practice, they do that kind of thing, right? The vision that the league brings to the kids, no matter if they're in a city or just in the community, is I like to go 2 hours or 4 hours out. The kids get to see a different city, different aspects of another community, understand how to interact with different people when you're away from home and whatnot. And then the big kids, which I call the coaches, they're in that zone too, where some of them have never traveled outside of St. Louis. So doing that, they come back and then you can have these conversations where you just don't see local news. And you have this one impression, you have a different vision if you actually can see more things and can be able to communicate about more things. The next thing is without the dedicated support of the City of Recreation, we MSDL St. Louis AYF could not make a life-changing impact on the kids in the St. Louis City football program. Thanks to the support staff, coaches, and many volunteers, with the collab, it provides education and resources to children in the communities and make a positive impact on the lives of many. Thank you all for listening to me. I don't want to take up too much time. I hope I was very brief.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I appreciate hearing your compassion. So Stephen comes in and then he goes out, and then he comes in, then he goes out. So I don't know where he's at, but I just wanted to say, I think our committee, we appreciate you all tremendously. And it seems like you all are doing the work, but as Alderwoman Schweitzer and myself, what our concern is, everybody doesn't know the good work that you're doing. And so you have to make sure that people are knowing what's going on, because we have too many kids out here that need the services. And that's where the challenge is coming in. And I keep hearing, people say the kids need something to do. Well, I just think if Parks and if Rex would advertise more, they would be able to have somewhere to go. But that's just what's going on. It's not happening. So I think that's what our takeaway is. We just need to know more to be able to support you all. I mean, and it's good, these programs, because it's overloaded with programs. So to me, with all the programs that Recreation is offering, it's no reason for our kids to be on the street. It's no reason for it, because we have the avenues where they can go to, and it's free. And so that's the big issue to me, because everybody keeps saying, they can't afford it, but it's free. So you can afford free. You just need to get there to be able to do it. And so you all, and Greg knows me well enough, I want it through the whole city. And no offense to 12th and Park, I know that's you all's jewel, but we have other centers that we don't hear a lot about. So that's all we're asking. If you all could please make sure that people know what's there and what they can, benefit from.
Thank you, Alderwoman Boyd. One comment. We had a public information officer with us for about a month and a half. He was making tremendous strides, but he found an opportunity to get back into his teaching career. So he left city service, but hopefully we're getting close to hiring a replacement for him for streets and our department. And that'd be great to have a PIO putting all those good things out there for us again. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So thank you all very much. I'll let you go to the next page, because Alan's like his neck is stretching, and so we need to get him here so we can let him get in his real clothes so he can get out of his suit and tie. So thank you all. I appreciate you, Recreation, and we'll make sure we'll follow back up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Allen, you are on.
Okay, Alderwoman, before I get started, I was wanting to know if we could go to the public comments. I know there's some individuals on that want to speak on behalf of forestry. Could we have them speak so they could get on with their day and
Okay.
sit here and listen to me for?
So we have a Aaron Dohagan and Dohan. Okay, thank you for correcting me because I don't want to mess up your name. And then you have an Aaron Godwin, and then you have a Ben Grossman.
Ben Grossman, yes.
So we have 3 people that want to speak, correct?
I see Aaron Shank as well.
Aaron Shank. So I need you all to show your video so we can see everybody's beautiful face.
I believe there's a Tom Tinkham on there. I don't know if he hasn't raised his hand yet. So.
Or somebody is under your name, Alan.
Oh, somebody's under my name?
So it doesn't look like you. They don't have a suit on.
I'm not sure how that happened. I'm sorry. I don't know why I have Alan's name.
That's all right.
He's Billy Haig.
What is your name?
My name is Billy Haig, Haag.
Okay. So we have Aaron, Billy, Irvin. Who else?
Tom Tinkham.
Was that him? Oh no, this is Ben Grossman. I don't see the Tom. I'm trying to get everybody to show their face.
Yeah, Tom raised his hand finally there.
Okay, Tom Tinkham. Okay, I just need to see your face, Tom. Uh-oh. Okay, here it comes. Okay, there you go, sir. Could you all please raise your right hand? Okay, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Aura, could you call them in order, and you all, let's go with 1.5 minutes.
Okay, who I'm seeing first, we'll start off with is Ben Grossman.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you. I serve as the Director of Greenway Operations for Great Rivers Greenway. Just wanted to highlight some of the activities that we've been working with the City of Forestry on for the last 10 plus years of my term here. Some of the exciting things, some community engagement and tree planting partnerships. We've worked with the City of St. Louis Forestry Department as well as Forest Relief of Missouri, planting trees in high priority areas, primarily in the north portion of the city where the tree cover is the least and can impact our residents in our community the most. We've also worked with forestry on doing some corridor clearing on the Hodemont Greenway, or the future Hodemont Greenway, on the old Hodemont tracks in the city of St. Louis. They've helped us with a number of ownership decisions and discussions, as well as some long-term maintenance strategies to how to make that the best use for our community. We've also worked with a number of conservation activities, habitat restoration on the Mississippi Greenway, North Riverfront Park, and the property across from the Water Department. Also in the Riverfront Park itself, doing some habitat restoration, some tree planting, and some prairie planting. We've done a lot of corridor clearing along greenways throughout our city, including the Mississippi Greenway and the River to Pear Greenway in the city. They've been very responsive to structural pruning on trees in high priority areas and areas that we overlap with our greenways, including Keener Plaza and some other sites. They've helped us with tree risk assessments on trees that happen to look like they're in poor condition along greenways. So much appreciated there, as well as some larger scale mulching projects that we've worked with them along greenways. And the lastly is we have a strong emphasis on training our partners and trying to bring up capacity of our partners. And we've tapped the City of St. Louis Forestry Department to assist in that as early as even yesterday to help us hold a chainsaw training course that we hosted at one of our sites. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Aaron Doheny.
Yeah, Dohan, that's fine, don't worry.
Dohan, sorry.
No, you're good, don't worry, everyone messes it up. So yeah, hello, my name is Aaron, and I work with Alan and Forestry, also the Parks Department, a lot on planting trees in city parks, mostly on the south side. So to date, I think we have about 200 trees surviving in about 7 different city parks that we've planted, I don't know, over the past 7 years or so. So just to highlight the partnership with the forestry department, these are all native trees. You know, Alan is great with getting out there with me, checking out sites to make sure that we're not in the way of any other activities going on in the park, learning how to plant trees so that the mowers don't run them over. And then, you know, tip of the cap to the Parks Department as well for approving these tree planting projects as well. It is truly a partnership in that sense. A couple other things that we've been working on. We have kind of a project going on in Francis Slate Park right now where we are getting rid of so much honeysuckle. And there's a lot of partners involved with this. But this highlights the nature stewards that the forestry department has recently hired. And so we go out there and cut honeysuckle on this hillside here to open it up to what's known as a rewilding project to plant native in this park. And so it will be spectacular here in, you know, 4 or 5 years once things start growing in that. So Alan's been great in helping to facilitate that and basically, you know, trying to find ways to make them work, these ideas work. We worked also along the Greenway down in South City, planting a tiny forest, which is a new idea. It definitely put St. Louis on the map, I would say nationally, if it ever became a story, because we planted like 500 trees in a space of like 2,100 square feet. It's an idea that's happening more and more around the world as we, you know, have deforestation happening. So it's trying to bring wildlife back into the spaces we still have. And lastly, Alan is great about, forestry is great about communicating information about where new street trees are so that we can send out volunteers to water those. So this last year we had 25 random volunteers in the 4th Ward watering 110 street trees, in addition to the water that they got from homeowners as well. So just trying to help the canopy grow in our ward as best we can. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Billy Haag.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, my name is Billy Haag. I'm the forestry manager with Forest Relief of Missouri. We're a nonprofit tree planting organization that grows 20,000 trees a year to give away on public and nonprofit land. Talking about our partnership with city forestry, a couple of things that have really helped us out. We have planted and are stewarding around 1,000 trees in city parks, mainly north of Del Mar in our Seagest areas. And along with planting those trees, city forestry has come to all of our projects, helping us with the mulching, helping us design where the trees should go, and talking about the maintenance concerns. So they're always present, always willing to help me out in that. But it's not only the planting the trees, it's the stewarding them as well. So I'm always sending Alan and Damon, one of the supervisors, emails about mulch requests. So they're always ready and available to help us out with that. We're working on some street tree pruning as well as as well as our plantings. We're sharing inventories so we can see where trees are in need, as well as sharing our inventory. So the city map is also updated. So we're keeping all of that up to date as much as we can. And we have this ongoing partnership that just started this year. We're out in the field planting the 2-for-1 for the trees that the city is removing so we can get some of that new canopy due to the IRA funding. So a lot of the successes that we have are due to city forestry helping us out and pushing our mission forward, because we are a small organization trying to do a lot. So it's really come in handy to have them and always willing to help us out.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Aaron I think it's Aaron Goodwin.
Hi, I'm Erin Godwin. I am the board president of St. Louis Neighborhood Foresters. We're a volunteer group that first basically formed when the forestry commissioner kindly took a meeting with me about 6 years ago to answer my questions about tree stewardship in the city. And he told me about their capacity limitations, right? Like it's very hard for municipal forestry to be able to get out there and do like the little things, right, that become big things. And so we, over time, worked with Alan to figure out kind of an approach that we hope can help with that. So we currently are in 6 neighborhoods. We recruit like residents of the neighborhoods and go out with them on monthly blitzes to water and mulch and prune, and generally check on city, street, and park trees. So we have found a lot of issues that pop up, right, that maybe the person who lives there might notice, but might not know what to do about and might not report to forestry. So we catch a lot of little things, right, like wires around the trunk of a tree or girdling roots that are small, but they'll become big and, you know, start to hurt the tree over time, and branches that are too low that get in the way of residents, you know, just trying to use the sidewalk. And so we basically work with forestry and have volunteer certified arborists who teach how we can address those things. And so Alan has been incredibly helpful. We only exist because he permits us to. We are all just residents who want to help care for the tree canopy. And so him taking a chance on us, we truly appreciate, and we try to be both good stewards of the canopy and of that trust. So we really just hope to continue that partnership as we build more tools to sort of spread the word about how residents can help the forestry division to care for all the trees that are in their inventory. And so yeah, it's been really wonderful, and we hope to expand in the coming year and cover more neighborhoods. So hopefully you'll hear more about us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Godwin. Next, we have Mr. Aaron Shank. So
Hi, everybody. My name is Aaron Shank. I am the Community and Private Lands Unit Supervisor with Missouri Department of Conservation. And I cannot say enough good things about the forestry crew that we work with at St. Louis City. We kind of started out working in O'Fallon Park with the forestry folks to restore the woodland unit over there and put in a hikeable trail. It's one of the few places you can, outside of Forest Park, you could truly go for a hike in the woods in St. Louis City, and forestry was a big part of that. And since then, have expanded to kind of renaturalizing and offering some nature-based kind of recreation opportunities in not just O'Fallon Park, but Dickman Park, Belle Reve, River des Peres, Tilly's Park. And now we're expanding as well into Fairgrounds, North Riverfront, and Carondelet parks. So this also includes not just some of the tree work that you've heard about, but also prairie reconstruction. And we have some really vibrant reconstructed prairies, especially at O'Fallon, Belle Reve, River des Peres, and a brand new baby one that's been in its first growing year at Tilly's Park. And so those are just incredibly wonderful resources, not just sort of ecologically, but also for offering other what we call ecosystem services, which, for example, flood mitigation with prairies and woodlands, the flood mitigation they can offer is really unparalleled. So an acre of prairie can absorb 6 to 7 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. And as we've seen, as our climate changes and those kinds of, kind of catastrophic rainfalls continue to be more common, these areas can really be important resources to communities that are more vulnerable to flooding in particular. We've also utilized some of our own education staff to sort of activate some of these spaces and offer programming in these spaces, especially the prairie areas, for kids to explore nature, and connect with the outdoors. The connection between access to nature and physical and mental health is very well documented. And within our agency, we have a a strategic initiative, a priority of implementing community conservation. And really kind of the cornerstone of that is that all people should have access to nature where they live. And we know that that's not necessarily true. And so we're really working with a lot of different organizations, but including City Forestry, to ensure that folks have places to go, whether it's just some healthy trees to sit under on a hot day or a place to explore nature. City Forestry has really emerged as a model statewide of how to implement community conservation. And so at Department of Conservation, we're just really grateful for the partnership that we have with you all.
Thank you, Ms. Shank. Next, we have Mr. Tom Tinkham.
But while he's getting on, Mr.
He's on now. Mr.
Okay.
Tinkham, we can't hear you.
How about now?
There you go.
Represent Midwestscapes. We do a lot vacant lots for the forestry department. We also do the easements mowing and Gatewood Cemetery. We've been doing it for probably 5 or 6 years now that we started. They send us lists, we go out and do them, and we try to make the phones not ring for you guys with complaints from the city residents. It's an easy system to work with. They send us a list, we schedule it, and we go, and we do as many as we can, budget restricted for you every year.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Tinkham. Next, we have.
1 minute, Tom, could you tell me your company you're with again?
Midwestscapes, SCAPES.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next we have Mr. Lee Holmes.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, we've been looking at you the whole time.
Give thanks. So my name is Lee Holmes. I'm on his brother Emperor. My group is called Protect Your Peace Academy. We teach the self-defense martial arts with the city of Parks and Recreation. Definitely want to thank you for the opportunity and thank Joaquina. Been going on like 2 or 3 years now. What we teach is to have self-defense and teach courage and discipline with the children, to have situational awareness, to keep them out of situations as much as we can, to get involved. The model for Protect Your Peace is the greatest peace to protect is the seconds of a woman's womb. Since we've been doing it for the last couple of years, adults have also been involved with it. So it's been ages from 6 to 18 versus some of the parents as well. And I also have a main school in St. Charles, Missouri, Ohana Martial Arts, where I teach at. And I go throughout doing seminars and teaching the martial art to just encourage people in self-awareness and have a discipline of treating themselves and not cheating themselves. Any questions?
Thank you.
Me and DJ Cut, we also work hand in hand on some things. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you, sir. And thanks for your patience.
I've been on since 9 and I've been. Oh, thank you. I've been on since 9. I just been having difficulty. So when you saw me, I was like, oh man, I didn't even know you saw me.
Yeah,
So,
we did. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you again. It was nice meeting all of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Peace.
So Alderwoman Barbie was just going to make note that Mr. Holmes was testifying on the portion of the rec centers. Am I correct?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Mr. White, are you for forestry or you for the rec center?
We do forestry.
Oh, okay. We're on point. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Who's next?
We have Mr. White that is next. I think that's our final speaker for today on this subject.
All right. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Robert White. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Peace of Mind Landscaping. We're in our third year, I believe, with the Forestry Department, working with Alan and his team. Our primary focus is vacant housing, the houses that have been kind of derelict and where the grass has kind of gotten out of control. And so for the last 3 years, we've worked with Alan, we worked with Tracy, now Zach, and those guys to make sure that the grass, as it gets above 6 to 8 inches, we try to keep it under control. The beauty about this program is that we are able to, at our peak months, affect about 30 or 40 families in the metropolitan St. Louis area to be able to employ these young men and women to get out and work on a 9 to 5, sometimes 7 days a week basis, just to get out there to do some beautification to our wards and to our districts. And so it's been amazing kind of building the plane as we fly, because with any challenges that we've had, Alan and his staff has allowed us to come in, work with them. They've worked with us. They've listened to us. We've listened to them. And, we grab a bull by the horn and get running. So each year is a different challenges and different things that we face. But I think we've done a great job trying to maintain consistency and efforts working with the community to get the yards cleaned up.
Thank you, sir.
Robert.
I want to say that Alan and Greg, I appreciate you all bringing all these people to the table, but I don't know about my other committee members. But again, it's the information and nobody knows. So this department is the best kept secret in our city. And nobody knows what's going on because I don't. And a lot of times Alan will tell you, I'll run up on information. It's like, oh, I didn't even know that. So I'm just asking, if you all could please be a little better at getting the information out to us. If it's just to our committee, it would help us to be able to promote you. But we can't promote you if we don't know what you're doing. So that's my comment. So Alan, are you ready now?
I am ready.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen here. And share. And then
French.
okay, can you all see the slideshow?
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
That's what Kim said.
So my name is Alan Jankowski. I'm the Commissioner of Forestry. I've been Commissioner for roughly about 8 years. Before that, I was with the Parks Division, working in the city parks for about 4 years. My executive assistant, Tracy, is behind me here. So if you see her lingering back there, she's listening in on what's going on today. So we will move on to the overview of forestry division. So we have a tree section, we have a weed section, and we have a newly kind of natural landscape section that MDC was kind of speaking of. And we have administration section, which Tracy is involved, including 5 customer service representatives. So if you call the forestry division, you will get someone on the phone. You'll either get Tracy or one of our representatives to hopefully answer a question that the citizens have. In our table of organization, we have 110 full-time employees. Just kind of break it down. In our tree section, we have 44 employees. We have some 16 vacancies in our tree section. We have 4 forestry foremen that we would love to hire. We have 12 tree trimmer / tree trimmer trainees. So a trainee doesn't have to have any experience. So they can come in, never running a chainsaw before, and then we train them to become a tree trimmer. So most of our tree trimmers, as of the last couple of years, have come in as trainees. So it's kind of tough. We get a lot of turnover because it's a tough position. First of all, you have to love the outdoors. You have to love running chainsaw. It's just not for everyone. So we do have a lot of turnover with the trainees. But the administration staff, we have 9 employees. Weed section, we have 55 employees. But we also have the limited term staff that we try to hire 40 to 70 limited term staff, seasonal workers during the April through basically October months. Our natural landscape section is 2 employees. One of those employees, we have a grant through the Missouri Department of Conservation to help that pays for their salaries. Our general, just kind of budget, we got a $10,600,000 budget for forestry division. Just to hit some highlights, $4 million of that goes to our full-time salary employees. $600,000 goes to overtime. Most of that is goes to weed control. As you know, those folks are out there. I think most of you know they work 10-hour days, Monday through Friday, and then they'll also put in an 8-hour day on Saturday. So they're working 58 hours a week, usually starting mid-April and going through Halloween. This year, since the weather was nice, it's still 75 degrees out there yesterday. So we're pushing that. We're still cutting grass till December 1st this year. Also, that overtime money will go to snow call. So we take care of a lot of the sidewalks downtown, a couple of parking lots. There's a parking lot in Soulard, and we also take care of a couple of police stations. And then also storm call. We have not only snowstorms, but if we get a thunderstorm or ice storm, then our tree crews will head out. We do have 2 to 3 people on call every day of the year. So if a limb tree would fall on Market Street or on Sutherland, then what other street? We would have the citizens can call the forestry number, or they could call the ranger's number, and it will go if you call forestry, it's just directed to the ranger station 24 hours a day, or not 24 hours a day when we're off of work, and then the rangers will take down the information and then call the on-call staff to take care of the issue. Now, the on-call staff will just clear the right-of-way. So if they take a tree, they're just going to kind of push it to the parking curb or put it in the tree lawn. And then the next working day, we'll take care of that. Also up here, we have a $1.5 million for professional services. So that goes to weed control as well. And that's for our grass cutting contractors. So kind of sticking with the grass cutting operations, we have a total of 6,046 private lots. So those are private owners. And then we have, these could be individuals from all over the region, all over the world that own these private lots. And then private buildings, we got 5,319. And then LRA has LRA lots, which is 8,468. And then the LRA buildings are 1,442. So it's a total of 21,275 properties that are on our rotation. All of these properties, the 21,000 there, all these properties get an ordinance letter in March. And the letter goes out to all these vacant owners indicating that it's just a letter, ordinance letter indicating that if your grass gets higher than 8 inches throughout the year, then we have the right to come onto your property and cut the grass. So if other properties that come up, say my property gets to be 8 inches or taller, then an inspector, if my neighbor complains about my grass, then an inspector will get a CSB complaint. The inspector will go out, inspect that property, and then if they view that it is not in compliance with our ordinance, then they will get a letter sent to them. And if they have 5 days to correct that, we'll go re-inspect in 10 days. And if it's still not in compliance, then that property will be on our cut list as well. vacant lots, so I'm gonna stay on the vacant lots here. So vacant lots, we have forestry cuts all vacant lots, whether it's private or LRA lots. So we have 20 tractors that roll out there every day. And we also have 8 to 10 individuals that will follow up behind the tractors and do the trimming around fire hydrants, around the tree lawn, or around stop signs. So sometimes you'll see that the lot is cut, but then that tree lawn is not cut. Then usually we'll have that crew that's following up behind them. And sometimes they lag behind. So we're trying to work on that to become more unified, so it all's cut within a day's time or day or two. Vacant buildings are cut by forestry staff as well as the contractor. Contractors, they get, hold on here, sorry, lost my train of thought. There's a lot more labor involved in cutting the vacant buildings. So we cut them with weed eaters, and there's a lot more retaining walls. There may be driveways, there's garages, so it takes a lot longer to cut these vacant buildings. So that's why the contractor comes in and helps us out with the vacant buildings. The brush that's created either on a vacant lot or vacant building, that brush we pull to the alley, or we'll pull to the front of the property, and we'll put it in the parking lane, or we'll put it in alongside the alley. We don't block the alley. And then the streets department, we put in a work order, and then the street departments pick up that work order, and then they come and pick up all our debris. So forestry just goes out with pickup trucks and weed eaters and chainsaws. So we don't have a large equipment. Yeah. So we'll move on to, here's our vacant building contractors. Midwest Scapes, Peace of Mind, we heard from them. We also have Corner to Corner and Slaco. We have 5 contractors on right now. This is our cut sheet. We send out a Excel spreadsheet that has, there's a link that we send out to all the aldermen, and if you don't get it, you just click on it, and then you can see exactly where we are and where we're going. So at the bottom of the cut schedule, it's just an Excel spreadsheet. You can click on detailed, or you can click on schedule. So I'm going to go over detail right now of the vacant lot. So as you can see, this is what has happened. So this is in the past. This is the history. So Ward 13 at the top here, as you can see, we went into Ward 13 April 15th, 2024, and we stayed into that ward until April 23rd. And then we didn't come back until June 6th, and then we left June 12th. Then we came back in July, and then we came back in August, and then October. And then you can see here at the end here where we cut it November 6th and we left November 14th. So you can see every ward here when we were in there cutting the vacant lots. And you can see on Ward 12, we're in Ward 12 right now, 11-14. Not sure we'll finish it. We'll see. As it gets cold, those tractor drivers won't want to be out there. So December 1st will probably be our cutoff date. And then that'll be it for the season. So I'm going to move on to the schedule. So this is vacant lot schedule. And again, you see at the top, Ward 13, that's where we started this year. We started with Ward 13, and then we went to 8, 12, and then so on. So no rhyme or reason here. Someone has to be first, someone has to be last. But you can see that Ward 13 was last completed November 14th. And when are we going to cut it again? It's scheduled for spring of 2025. So we won't be back. So this is what we're projecting. So when you look at the schedule, that's what we're projecting for the future. If you scroll down, you see on Ward 12, we are scheduled to be in Ward 12, 11, 14, which is in the past, right? And let me look here. Sorry. I guess we're still in there. So the last completed date is 10/17. So we're working in Ward 12 right now with our vacant lots, and we're working in Ward 3.
In a few days.
Oh, in a few days, yeah, 26. So that's the projected date. And then there's no other projected dates after November 26th, because that'll just be the end of our season. So everything else here shows that it's going to be spring 2025. So now I'm going to slide over to vacant buildings. Vacant buildings, as you can see, I'm going to scroll back here. Vacant lots, we cut 5 rotations for everyone, and then we've started a couple on 6 rotation. As you can see, vacant buildings take a lot more labor and effort, and so we've only completed 3 rotations here, and we just started our fourth rotation. Again, Ward 13, see, we started April 15th, and we left May 31st. So that first rotation took a long time to get that completed. Usually at the beginning of the year, we got some tall grass. Just depends on how long we cut and how warm the winter is and how tall that grass grows. As climate change comes along, that grass is growing longer and longer. We used to always cut off grass cutting like mid-October. Then we went to Halloween. And this year we're extending it again to December 1st. So you can see on Ward 13. So any ward you want to pick, again, this is the past. This is the detailed cut list. And this is what we send out, and we update this every Tuesday. So it kind of gives you, this is what we did in the past. 4/15 to 5/31 on Ward 13. Then we went back July 25th, and then we completed it August 23rd. And then the next rotation was 10/2 to 10/30. And then we just started again in Ward 13 at 11/7, and we haven't completed that one yet. So crews are still working in there. And the different colors at the bottom of the cut sheet, it should indicate, the different contractors that are working in those wards. So you can line up the contractor with the color coordination, and you can find out which contractor is where. Forestry also does cut vacant buildings, just not nearly as many as we focus. We tend to push a lot of our labor toward the vacant lots. And then the vacant building schedule. So this is, again, kind of what we're projected, kind of moving ahead. So Ward 13, we went in 11/7, and we're still in there. So the last completed date is 10/30. And then the rest of them, spring 2025, looks like we went in on Ward 12, 11/14, and we're still working in that ward. And so all the other wards are projected, scheduled for next spring. I know that's a lot of information there, but if you look at the detailed, it's what's in the past, and the schedule is what forestry is projecting when we're going to be in that ward. And we update it every Tuesday, because if it rains 2 or 3 days, then that probably will shift that date back further. I'm going to move on to equipment. So this past year, we've had the CDA had some ARPA funding, and they asked us, what they could help us out with in forestry, and we said we could really use some big equipment. We hear from aldermen, we hear from the residents that forestry creates a big mess. They cut the grass, and then they pile all this stuff in the street, and then they just leave. And so we don't complete the project. So if we could get some large equipment out there, and then we could do a complete job from start to finish and not have to rely on a different department. So we ordered $1.5 million worth of equipment. There's 2 front loaders. I'll go over the equipment that we ordered with the CDA funding first. 2 front loaders, 4 roll-off trucks. So roll-off trucks are big trucks that haul the big 40-yard dumpsters. And so when I say next down here, 16 roll-off containers, that's those big 40-yard dumpsters. So the reason we ordered 16, so we could place these dumpsters out through where we're working, and the front loaders could load up those dumpsters while the roll-off trucks just keep moving back and forth to the dump. So we're not having a truck sitting there waiting to be loaded up. Nope. The load's ready for you, back up to it, grab it, move on down the road. And then we also ordered 2 dump trucks to help us out with special projects, help haul mulch around, but also haul debris, but also to deliver our skid loaders. And we have 2 skid loader trailers. So thus far, the 2 front loaders have came in. Everything else, the 4 roll-off containers are still all on order. We did get 2 new skid loaders, and they have a forestry head on them, and that will help us. That wasn't bought with the CDA funding, but it was bought with capital funding, and help with the mayor's office and her staff working. And with their support, we were able to get some capital funds for that. So we have a video here that I'm going to try to show you that. Oh, go to the next slide. Sorry. So this is the skid loader I'm talking about that has the it almost looks like a stump cutter sitting on the front of it there, and it just grabs brush and shreds it on site. And we have a video here that we can kind of show you that will help justify. Sorry, escape. Bear with me 1 second. And so we have a before and after photo. And we went to expand it.
Everyone can see this?
And can everybody see the brush?
Yes.
Do I need to expand this? So that was before. So you can see the brush, all that brush there came all the way down to this edge. So we used that piece of equipment. I know this is not a vacant lot, but I just wanted to kind of show what that piece of equipment does. It not only shreds that brush up, but as you could see, if you zoomed in and you looked at that, what it leaves, it grinds those stubs all the way to the ground, so that the next time we come out to cut that property, we can use mowers to just cut the grass. So all the debris is left on site there, and excuse me, and it's a maintainable site, because previously we would go out there with 10 guys, 10 laborers, 10 people, and we would use our chainsaws and cut the brush 6 to 8 inches off the ground. If anybody's used a chainsaw, if you tip that blade in the ground, it will dull that blade within a second. So, and then your chainsaw is useless. It's like, cutting with a dull knife. It just, it doesn't work. So you have to keep that chainsaw off of the ground. So in other words, we're leaving the stubs, and then you come back 3 weeks later, those stubs have resprouted and they're already 3 feet tall. But now we grub this plant material all the way down to the ground, and now we can run brush hogs over that without ruining those blades, because you can't run brush hogs over 6 to 8 inch tree stubs. So it's been a piece of equipment that's been really helpful to us, and we just kind of started using them this spring, and kind of getting them out there probably midsummer. And then we also, there was about $50,000 left in the CDA funding that we're trying to order another Bobcat and find some funding in our budget so we can purchase another one of these pieces of equipment. You're looking at about $135,000 piece of equipment. But as you can see in this video, I know he didn't go all the way up the hill because it's a pretty steep slope, and didn't want that thing flipping over. But we did this a couple of weeks ago. This is Francis Slay Park. This is one of our speakers was speaking about how we're kind of cutting out that honeysuckle and invasives and then going back in with natural plant material. So, but that's the piece of equipment there. And that photo where was all that brush, you probably look at probably 10 to 15 individuals with chainsaws clearing that brush for a full day. One individual with a spotter, so let's say 2 individuals with this piece of equipment, were able to clear that whole hillside or half of the hillside within an hour's worth of time. So a huge savings there on how do we use equipment, how do we use technology to replace some of that labor we can't seem to hire. So how do we use our heads and work maybe a little more intelligently. And not only does it save us time cutting the brush, but then if we pulled all that brush down, we'd have to have a loader load it up on a truck. Then the truck would have to haul it to the dump site, and then we would have to pay to dispose that debris. So cost savings all over the place. And then we put that plant material back on the hillside, and those nutrients go right back into the soil. We're not hauling away all that fertilizer, if you would say. So now we're going to move into the tree removal section of forestry. The city maintains trees between the curb and the sidewalk, and on park trees as well. So that's about 80,000 street trees and probably 80 to 100,000 park trees. We haven't inventoried every one of our parks, but we're getting really close to doing that. So in the tree section, we plant trees. We use capital funding from automatic. Dollarman sets aside money for tree planting. Citizens put in requests through the Citizen Service Bureau. If they want a new tree, we'll go out, our arborists will go out, inspect the site, make sure we're clear of any utilities, clear of the street lights and stop signs, make sure we're not planting large trees underneath power lines, put the right plant in the right space. And then once the tree planting comes on, we use the automatic capital funds to purchase those trees. And then our tree planting season starts November 1st and runs through April. We usually plant between 2,500 to 3,000 trees. Arborists also do, they go out and they inspect trees. If we get a citizen complaint about maybe a hazard tree at an address, so we'll send an arborist out there. They'll take a look at it. They'll either say, no service necessary, or they'll say, hey, this tree needs to be pruned, or maybe it needs to be removed. So forestry will go out and prune it, or we'll remove trees. And then we'll move into private tree inspections. Arborists will go, we'll get a citizen service request for a hazard tree that's on private property. Maybe it's in somebody's backyard, growing over a pool, growing over like 2 or 3 homes. It's completely dead. What we do for the citizens, we send a certified arborist out there to do an inspection. They will send the homeowner a notice. Again, if there's no service necessary, we won't send a letter. But if it needs to be pruned or if it needs to be removed, we'll send that homeowner a letter indicating what needs to be done. to that tree. And then usually we kind of back off, and that's about all we do. And that way, but there at least is a certified arborist inspection that homeowner could use if they wanted to take legal action, some civil action. There is $50,000 a year that we spend on private hazard tree removals. That usually ends up being 15 to 20 trees. So not a lot if you consider the whole city. And our arborists will submit their most hazardous trees, and then we'll try to tackle the most hazardous trees until our $50,000 is up. Like I said, it usually about 15 to 20 trees. Those property owners, after a contractor, we'll send them a letter saying, hey, you have a hazardous tree in your backyard. And then we'll send another letter. It could be months, could be years later, saying, hey, that hazardous tree is not, you have not taken care of it. And now we have a contractor lined up to remove that tree. So if our contractor goes out, if the homeowner doesn't take care of it, we will remove that tree. And then that homeowner is charged for that service, and they will get a bill from forestry. So residents submit the CSBs. Is very critical that residents, again, if you want to plant a tree, if you want to prune a tree, even the private trees, you got to submit that CSB, and then forestry will take action from there. I'm going to move on to the tree removal kind of budget. This kind of looks at more of the funding for our contractor. Not only is forestry taking down trees with our forestry team, our tree section team, we also have a contractor that really focuses on tree removals. We don't have them do the trims. We have them focus on tree removals. So we have $1.1 million in ARPA funding that was awarded to forestry to remove trees. There is about $300,000 left of that. This year we have $550,000 in capital tree removal funds that we'll spend before the end of June. And then that's just for regular tree removals throughout the city. And then we have $500,000 capital funds for ash removals. So we still have ash on our streets. I believe everybody knows the ash trees were infected by the emerald ash borer, and we're still trying to reduce that population so that we can move forward and put the ash, get them down to a reasonable level that would just become part of our removal process. Right now, there's still about 7,000, just over 7,000 ash still remained on our streets. Our contractor is Michael's Tree and Loader. They've been with us for several years, probably over a decade, and they do a great job. And we want to keep them moving with these removals. It's really helping us as we've been, ever since I've been here, I think 6 tree trimmers. We've been down at least 6 the entire time I've been here. So we're up to about 12 right now. And again, that number fluctuates as we, excuse me, as we go through tree trimmer trainees. Again, we worked with the mayor's office to get new equipment out there, and a lot of support from the mayor to buy this piece of equipment. It's an $800,000 piece of equipment, and it takes down trees. And it's called a Cinnabogan. We're very excited about this piece of equipment. We hired a new CEO, individual that solely to operate this piece of equipment this Monday. So he's training in the parks right now, and as soon as he feels confident, or we feel confident with him, we'll get them out on the streets, and then hopefully this thing will run up and down our streets. And we're hoping to take down 15 to 20 trees a day, and that will help us tremendously. Again, looking at ways to have technology help us get some of these work orders down as we persistently have trouble hiring labor. So we do have a video with this one, Tracy, if you don't mind pulling that up. And it's time lapse, sorry. It's a time lapse, and it will kind of show the operations of this machine. So this is one of our supervisors. That's Interstate 40 behind there. We're in Forest Park, cutting down a spruce tree. And he set up his camera and he time lapsed it, and it took him 35 to 45 minutes to complete this tree removal. And so you can see has a grapple, and then there's a saw. So as he grabs it and then pushes a button, the saw comes out and cuts it. And so there's our roll-off dumpsters kind of to the left that we will use not only with weed control, but we already have 6 to 8 of them for the forestry section or tree section for tree removals that we purchased with this piece of equipment. So again, start to finish, about 30 minutes. We demoed this piece of equipment a couple of years ago, and I know we had a real proficient operator in there, but he took down a tree that was 48-inch, big post oak. They took it down in less than 2 hours, and would have taken a team of us, our team, 6 to 8 individuals, probably a day and a half. So we're very excited about this piece of equipment and hopefully help us push removals into the future.
Thank you. Alan?
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay, but I apologize to my committee, because probably what should have happened, because I know both departments have so much information.
Yes.
And my committee has been really educated, but we're probably gonna call you back at, because we weren't able to give you the time, because it's so much, it's so much information. And so my frustration, as you and Greg know, is we don't know this stuff. So you telling us stuff, you adding to what we knew. So it took me in a whole different light of forestry. So I'm going to ask if you would be so kind as to, you don't have to wear a suit next time.
Okay.
Call you back to talk to us to finish up, what you were doing. But you had so much added stuff that let us know that it was more that you had than just cutting lots and vacant properties. So we appreciate it.
There's probably only 5 more minutes.
And that's why we're trying to close it out in that 5 minutes. So go
Gotcha.
ahead, Alan, with that 5 minutes.
Okay.
But I'm gonna call you back. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. I'll make it quick here. So we did get an IRA grant, and I wanted to put a shout out to Heather Navarro. She works for Washington University. She was an ex-alderwoman, and she really pushed us in the right direction and helped us apply for this grant. And it was the IRA grant, Inflation Reduction Act, and we did receive $8 million, which is one of the largest in the nation. We asked for 50, we got 8, so we're really happy with 8. But with this grant, we're going to take down 1,600 trees. We're going to prune 30,000 trees, and we're going to plant 3,200 trees. But the trees we plant, we are going to be able to water and mulch for a 3-year period. So we're going to care for the trees that we put out there, and these will be in the right of way. So that grant, we have some contractors lined up. Monster and Michael Stream Loader will be doing removals and pruning, and then TRC Outdoor will be doing tree watering and mulching. And then we also have Forest Relief, which we heard from Billy Haig today. They're helping us. They're a partner with us on our grant. and they're out there planting all our trees. And they're also doing a lot of community engagement in those communities to help promote trees. So we do get more requests for tree plantings in some of our lower tree canopy neighborhoods to help with all the benefits of trees, that's including that mental health aspect of it. Excuse me. And then, Alderwoman, we had the $818,000 ARPA funds for private tree removals. And this is, we're hopefully get this going in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We're sending out letters next week or two, and we're able to take all of the trees that we have private tree requests for, and this is a map of all of them throughout the city. There's 818, I believe, 885 throughout the city. And so we're starting with the oldest 4 in each ward, oldest inspections, and we're gonna do a round throughout the city, and then we'll see what kind of funding we have left after we take those 4 down, and then we will do another round. That funding is, again, 818,000, and this funding, like the 30,000 we had or 50,000 we had for private tree removal, we bill the homeowners. This funding, we will not bill the homeowners, as it will be a free service for them. And then the last slide, please, I think I have, is just the natural landscape. Again, we have 2 full-time employees. MDC pays for that one of those employees. And Aaron mentioned several of the areas that we're in. It includes like prairies, savanna, woodlands, wetlands, prairies, riparian zones, fairgrounds. We're going to be working on a riparian zone in there. And we're looking to burn some of our natural areas, hopefully this fall yet. We're having a meeting with the fire department today. Actually, it's happening right now. And thank you to Alderman's support for the burns that we're trying to conduct throughout these native areas. And we wanted to make sure we get the burns through, reduce woodies, and add the nutrients back to the soil, and just help lower the maintenance costs. And I wanted to mention that, Pam, I know Alderwoman, you specifically asked for that funding for the 818,000 not to be billed. So we worked that through the process, and we got legal on it. And so I think we are good to go. And thank you for stepping up and helping our citizens with that 818,000 of private tree removals. Thank you so much. That's the end of my presentation.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Alan and Tracy.
Does any of the committee people have any questions? Because I know they have other meetings to go to. And it's not that we didn't love seeing you, Alan. It's just that they have other committees. So
I understand.
It's okay. I have a cell phone. It's okay.
I do too. So yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right. You can call me.
Alderwoman Schweitzer, do you have anything?
I just want to say thank you. Alan, you always get back to me with the questions when I have them, and it's been an absolute joy working to do more in Carondelet Park with the Nature Stewards program. And there's just so much great stuff happening in forestry, and I appreciate you coming to talk about it. I know we just need more people to cut, and there's a lot of trees that need to come down, and there's a lot of tree maintenance that needs to happen. And I had just wanted to make sure I said thank you to everybody who came to talk today and support forestry. I've worked with, I think, every single person who came on different programs related to what was happening in the city. And it's just, really inspiring to see how many people care about this and are working so hard, both in their work time, and I know it's a lot, a labor of love, and then also in people's private time as well. So thank you very much for being here. If I come up with questions, which I'm sure I will, I'll email or call you. Thank you for being so responsive.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't have anything. I thank everybody that did come. I applaud the people that you all had to come in to speak, you know, give up their time to come speak in support of you all and your programs and your projects. And so that's a good thing. And so now, what we'll probably do from the Health and Human Development, next time we won't have both departments because you all have so much information. So we need to make sure that we give you the ample amount of time to be able to be asked questions so you can toot your horn. But the only thing that I'm asking is please, please market. Communication is the best thing that helps us as a city and helps your departments. And so on that note, I don't have.
I'm sorry, Alderwoman Boyd, it's Mr. Jankowski and Ms. Callahan, if they could provide a copy of their presentation to the clerk, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank
you. And Miss Janika too. Yeah, both of them.
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Juanika and them. Just make sure you provide that to our clerk so we can make sure that we have that information that can go out.
It was sent out yesterday afternoon.
For Alan or for both of them?
Just
For
Alan
both.
Richer. I think both, yes.
Both.
Both were sent prior to the clerk.
Okay, I thought I saw a lot of stuff coming to me, and so it went to the clerk. Okay, so they said they already sent it, Aura.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to go for a tour to go look at our piece of equipment, yeah, if the committee wants to tag along.
Well, we're going to probably
go
set a date so we can come look at your equipment because I think that's your candy in your store.
That's right. We want to show it off.
Oh, we know that. So we'll probably set up a time for the committee to tour rec centers and to tour forestry to see the Allen's little exciting gifts that he has.
That sounds good.
All right. Thank you all. So do we have any announcements? Okay. Excuse Alder people, Alderwoman Tyus and Alderwoman Alicia Sonye. I will ask to be excused. So could I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Thank you all so much and I appreciate your time.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, folks.
You too. Thank you.